Guys, welcome back to my channel. This is my review for Love and Hip Hop Miami season 3 episode 1. I have not done a review for Love and Hip Hop Miami yet, so this will be the first one. So let's get into it. So this episode starts with Trina at her mother's funeral service, and it was really sad to watch because you could tell how broken her and her family was that her mother had passed. And you know, it did seem like she has a lot of support though, not just from her siblings but from her family and friends in general. And I think that that's great because she's going to need all those people's support in order for her to heal and in order for her to cope. And I hope that their family works together to keep her mother's memory alive and remember her as she was before she got sick. So a lot of big changes have happened in Amara's life. She recently bought a house for her and her mother to live in, which I think it's sweet that her and her mom have such a good relationship. I do think that she needs to set some type of boundaries for her mom though, because I've seen her mom, you know, get a little bit too involved in her personal life, and I feel like her mom should not be a part of every single thing that she does. I just feel like she does need to set some boundaries, but I do think that it's great that her and her mom have such a good relationship. Now, Amara's boyfriend ends up walking into the kitchen with them, and he's in a towel. Naked in a towel, okay? And her mom did not like it at all. She thought that it was disrespectful that he came in there around her like that. And I thought it was too, because it's just like, that's her mom. She's there and you're walking in there in a towel. Not a very good impression to make. Now, he said that he's living there, so he should be able to do it. But it's like, no, you can't. Her mom's living in that house. You cannot walk around with no clothes on. Now, Amara said that they had only been dating for a few months before he moved into the house with her. And I think that's definitely a little bit too soon to be living with somebody. Not a little bit, it's a lot too soon. But if she didn't know him before, she's really going to get to know him now by living in the house together, and they'll find out if they're really compatible, because you really learn who somebody is when you have to live with them. Now, she takes him into the other room and she lets him know that he needs to, you know, respect her mom. And any guy that's going to be with Amara needs to respect her mom, because she's extremely close to her mom and she's always going to put her mom first. Now, which that could cause some type of problems in her relationship because she always puts her mom first. Now, she tells him that she wants his help with her single release party, because she really wants it to be perfect, because last year she thought that her career was going to be in a better place. She thought that she was going to be a lot more successful in the music industry, and that hasn't happened for her yet. And so she feels like she needs to pick the perfect single to debut at this release party, because if she doesn't, she's not going to get to where she wants to be in her music career. Now, I haven't heard any music of hers on the radio, but I feel like she can get somewhere. I feel like she got something. Like, I've heard a little bit of her music before, and I think that she's not too bad. She's not bad at all, actually. I think she's pretty good. I just think that she needs to tweak a few things. So Trick Daddy has a new girlfriend, and she is significantly younger than him, and I think she's in her mid to late 20s. I could be wrong, but that's just what I see when I look at her. She's really pretty, and he said that she raps. Now, when he said she rapped, I was like, okay, I think she's only with him because he's Trick Daddy and he can help her get her career where she wants it to be. Now, he said that his girlfriend is celibate, so he hasn't even slept with her yet, which he said that he's growing impatient, but this is the most patient he's ever been with a woman when it comes to sleeping with them. Now, I don't even think she wants to sleep with him. I don't think she intends on sleeping with him. I honestly do think that she's just with him because she wants her music career, and I'd have to see where their relationship goes towards the rest of this season in order to change my mind about that. Now, he started a soul food restaurant because there were a lack of soul food restaurants in Miami, which I think is a smart business move on his part, because whenever there's a lack of something in a certain area and you put that business in that area, you will get a lot of business. And if there was a lack of soul food restaurants, now that he put one there, if the food is good, he's going to get a lot of business. Now, he invites his girlfriend to his grand opening for his restaurant, but she's a little bit worried about how it's going to go with Joy being there. Now, Joy is Trick Daddy's ex-wife, and they are still going through the divorce process, so she's nervous about it, but he assures her that nothing's going to happen when she runs into Joy. So it's the grand opening for Trick Daddy's Soul Food restaurant, and the food actually looks really good. I don't know if it tastes any good, but it really does look good. And he even hired one of Trina's former assistants, who Trina fired in the previous season. I don't know if Trina will have an issue with that if she sees him working in there, but for the most part, I think that, the guy needed a job, so he gave him a job. Now, Amara is dating Shay's brother, and in dating Shay's brother, her and Shay became really close, and now all three of them are close with one another, and they show up to Trick Daddy's restaurant grand opening together. Bobby ends up showing up bringing all the messiness, okay? Because just like Zell has the reputation of being messy in Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, Bobby has the reputation of being messy in Love and Hip Hop Miami. Now, Bobby shows up and Amara tells them all about her single release party that she's throwing and how she wants all of them to come. Now, they end up getting into a conversation about JoJo because JoJo and Amara were actually really close at one point in time, and she ended up finding out that, JoJo was saying that her mom put roots on her, and that's the reason why everything was going bad in her life, which if you know Amara, if you talk about her mother and you have anything negative to say about her mom, she's probably not going to be cool with you anymore because her and her mom are really close with one another. Now, Shay also has issues with JoJo because she tried to date her ex and they were actually friends with one another, and so she feels like JoJo broke girl code, which I agree with her. That is breaking girl code. You don't date anybody who your friend was dating. Now, Amara says that she still kind of would be interested in being, cool with JoJo because Bobby kept pressing the idea of the two of them making up, which I feel like he was just being messy. And Shay has an issue with that because she feels like it's Amara not being loyal to her by her being friends with somebody who she has issues with. Now, I don't fully agree with Shay on this. I know you don't really want to be friends with somebody who hangs out with somebody who don't like you, but at the same time, you can't tell a grown person who they can and can't be friends with. And, JoJo and Amara had their own friendship outside of Shay, so I just don't think that Shay can tell Amara who she can be friends with, which is how Amara feels. But I can understand why Shay would have an issue with Amara being friends with somebody who's not cool with her because, you feel uncomfortable with that type of situation. Joy ends up showing up, which I was actually surprised that she showed up because if her and Trick Daddy are going through this divorce, I don't understand why she would want to show up to his grand opening. I mean, it's cool for exes to support one another, but I just thought it was weird that she ended up showing up. Now, it's a little bit awkward between Shay and Joy, but they still were able to be cordial with one another. They didn't get into any type of altercation, and so I thought that was good because it definitely is not the time or the place to make a scene at somebody's event. Now, Joy says that she's focused on her divorce, so she doesn't even care what, Trick Daddy's doing in his personal life. Now, Prima Donna ends up showing up, which I like Prima Donna. I liked Prima Donna when she was on Marriage Boot Camp because I thought she was really funny, and so I like that she's on this season of Love and Hip Hop. Now, Shay tells Joy about the woman Trick Daddy's dating, and I felt like Shay was being messy. Shay and Bobby were being messy in this entire friggin' scene. Because, you told her about Trick Daddy's girlfriend because you wanted to try to get a rise out of Joy, and Joy said that she's happy that he has someone because he can stay out of her own business. So they didn't get the reaction out of Joy that they wanted to get out of her, which I was glad at the way that Joy reacted to it. Now, Trick Daddy's girlfriend goes up to the group because Trick Daddy tells her that she can go over there and mingle with people because if people are going to be around him, they have to accept his girlfriend, and so he feels like she needs to go over there. So she goes over there by Joy and all the rest of the group, and she goes over there and they immediately start questioning her about her relationship with Trick Daddy. Shay ends up asking her if she's his girlfriend, okay? And she says that she's his girlfriend, but they're not even intimate. So the rest of the group feels like because they're not even sleeping together that they're not in a relationship, which I think that's stupid that they even have that mindset, because just because you haven't slept with the person you're dating yet does not mean that you're not in a relationship with somebody. You don't have to sleep with somebody right away. Although I don't think she wants to sleep with Trick Daddy. That's the reason why she hasn't slept with him yet. Now, someone there says that Trick is still in love with Joy because the girls that he dates look similar to Joy, which is true. The girl that he's dating and Joy do not look the same, but they look similar to one another. And I feel like he does still kind of feel uncomfortable with the fact that he's not with Joy anymore, even though he doesn't want to be with Joy. I feel like he feels awkward at the fact that he's not married to her because he's so used to being with her. Now, they were all clowning about Trick Daddy's relationship that entire time, which I feel like they were all being messy because it's just like, this is his event and you guys are clowning him in his relationship at his own event. Now, they introduced JoJo to this season, and she was talking about how basically last year she lost everything. She lost her store, she lost her relationship, and she lost her friendship with Amara. And she said that she regrets the way that she handled things, which I do think is big of her to admit that she may have handled things the wrong way. But that's going to have to be something that she's going to have to say to Amara if she wants to work things out. Now, it's the premiere for her line with Tommy Hilfiger, which is definitely a huge accomplishment. So if she is down about the things that went wrong in her career, she should be in the moment and happy about what she's doing in her career right now, because getting a line with Tommy Hilfiger is definitely a big accomplishment. But she was saying how she wishes things were different between her and Amara because she would really love for Amara to be there. Now, Bobby came there to support JoJo, okay? Which, why am I not surprised that messy Bobby was there, okay? He definitely brings a mess, but he's definitely good for TV. Like, I feel like he was definitely made for reality TV with his personality. Now, he tells JoJo about him seeing Amara at Trick Daddy's event and how when he brought up to Amara that her and JoJo should make up because he feels like Amara still wants to be friends with JoJo. Amara said that she would be interested in possibly working things out with JoJo, and he lets her know that Shay had a huge issue with that, but she was being messy by telling that because he didn't have to tell JoJo that Shay had a problem with Amara saying she would be cool with JoJo again. Now, she says that she wants to work things out with Amara and that Amara invited her to her single release party and that she'll see how things go with Amara there. But she also feels like Shay wants to take her place, which I don't feel like Shay wants to take JoJo's place. I just feel like Shay is possibly really big on like her friends being true to her, and she feels like if her friend is hanging out with somebody who she's not cool with, she sees it as betrayal. Trina has been really down since her mom's passing, which is understandable. She was saying that she wasn't answering anybody's phone calls, anybody's messages, and she was really just staying in solitude and just focusing on her work because work is the only thing that keeps her mind busy now. Joy came to visit Trina, and she was saying how Joy is the only person that she feels like dealing with at the moment because her and Joy are actually really close with one another. Now, Joy thinks that Trina needs to deal with her mom's passing and not keep herself locked up in solitude because she feels like that's not going to help Trina cope, and she feels like that's not a healthy way to cope. But Trina is just not trying to hear it because she wants to deal with her mom's passing the way that she feels she needs to deal with that. And if she feels like she's going to lash out on people, then she's probably doing the right thing by kind of staying to herself for a little while. Now, her album was taken off the internet due to Julian, who she was working with at one point, and she said that he was scheming on her and that he took advantage of the fact that her mom was sick, and she was wrapped up in the fact that her mom was sick, that he was doing things that she didn't know about, and that he stole thousands of dollars from her, okay? Now, I don't know about that situation, but if he did do that stuff, that's absolutely ridiculous, and Trina's going to have to deal with that at some point in time. They're going to run into each other at some point during this season, and I'm interested to see what happens because if he did that shit, he needs to be exposed. So it's the night of Amara's single release party and everyone shows up to support her. She's nervous about this single release party because she wants everybody to enjoy the song that she picked. Now, everyone seems to be being cordial with one another until Bobby gets there because Bobby is messy. He is good for reality TV because his personality, he definitely brings the drama and he definitely brings the entertainment. But I do think that sometimes his pettiness and his messiness is unnecessary. And I felt like in this situation, it was unnecessary because he ends up telling Shay that JoJo is coming and that Amara is the one who invited her, and I don't think it was the time or the place for him to go and tell Shay that. He could have at least waited until after Amara did her performance, okay? Because that just caused nothing but drama. And so now Shay's mad at Amara because, one, Amara didn't tell her that JoJo was coming, and two, she feels like Amara betrayed her. Now, Shay asked Amara about JoJo going, and Amara said that she did invite JoJo, but she didn't tell her because she didn't want her to get mad. And Shay immediately gets pissed off and tells Amara that she feels like she betrayed her because she's been nothing but good to Amara, and Amara's over here inviting somebody that she doesn't get along with. Now, I feel like, Amara did mess up by not giving Shay the heads up that she was inviting JoJo, because I feel like you should always give somebody the heads up if somebody's going to be invited to something and two people don't like each other. So I honestly feel like Amara should have given Shay the heads up, but Amara says she didn't give her the heads up because of the way that Shay reacts to things. But Shay does overreact to a lot of things because she didn't have to go anywhere near JoJo at this event if she didn't want to. But Amara didn't even give her the opportunity to process the fact that this girl was going to be there because she didn't even tell her. Now, Shay ends up breaking down crying, okay? And Amara walks away from her, which I don't know if Amara walked away from her because she felt like Shay was being dramatic, or she walked away from her because she doesn't want her mood to be messed up before her performance. Either way, I feel like the two of them need to sit down and talk, because I feel like this one situation right here could literally ruin their friendship. So Shay's brother and Amara are dating each other, and so he doesn't like that his sister and his girlfriend are having issues, and so he tries to calm the situation down with Shay, but she shuts that down instantly and lets him know that if he doesn't stay out of her issues with Amara, that she's going to end up making him choose between her and Amara, and she doesn't want to make him do that because she doesn't feel like it's fair to make him choose between his sister and his girlfriend, which is not. And so I hope he stays out of it because they can figure it out for themselves. Now, Amara ends up telling Bobby and Joy that she invited Julian, okay, because Julian's her manager. Now, Julian is the one who Trina's saying scammed her and stole thousands of dollars off of her, and so she has extreme issues with this man, and he's going to be at the same event that she's going to be at. Now, Trina just decided to come out. She was staying in solitude and putting herself fully into her work, not going anywhere because she's still depressed about her mom. So the fact that she came out and now she may possibly see this man is definitely not going to be a good thing. And so Bobby and Joy let her know quickly that he's the one who scammed Trina out of thousands of dollars, and that she needs to keep Julian far away from Trina if she doesn't want her event to get ruined. And so now she's feeling nervous, she's feeling confused, and she's feeling skeptical because she doesn't know what to believe, because this is her manager and she's hearing that he's a scammer, okay? So they just let her know, like, you don't have to worry about anything, just keep him away from Trina, which hopefully Trina and Julian don't run into each other, because that's going to be bad if they do. Now, Shay ends up seeing that JoJo shows up, and instead of making a scene at Amara's event, she ends up leaving. And I think that that was big of Shay to do, and that shows that she does have some respect for Amara, because if she didn't have respect for Amara, she would have made a scene at that event. Now, JoJo ends up pulling Amara to the side, and she says that she wants to be civil with her and that she doesn't want to beef with her anymore because she doesn't even feel like they have legitimate beef, and that she apologizes to Amara. Now, Amara says that she wanted to originally move forward with the friendship with JoJo, and that was her reasoning for inviting her to the event. But she revisited all the things that JoJo has said about her and all the things that she had posted about her, and she ended up having a change of heart. So now Amara does not want to move forward with a friendship with JoJo, okay? JoJo seems bothered by that now, and Amara let her know, like, look, I've seen you plenty of times before we started filming this season of the show, and you had many opportunities to come up to me and talk to me about this, and you never took the opportunity. Now all of a sudden we're filming the show, and now you want to come apologize to me, which I think that is a reason for Amara to be skeptical about JoJo, and I think that it was good that Amara told JoJo that she's not interested in being friends with her. I don't think the two of them need to have beef anymore, but I do think that their friendship is just not going to go anywhere. Now, Amara does her little performance, and I think that she is a good performer. She is, and her music was actually good, but I feel like in order for her to really, really pop in the music industry, she's going to have to come out with a really poppin' ass song, or she's going to have a really good feature, and I think that that will really put her on. Now, in the final scene of this episode, Bobby tells Trina that Julian is there, and Trina is triggered. Like, she is triggered, but she has every reason to be triggered, okay? But she said that this is Amara's event, and it isn't the time or the place to make a scene, so she's going to stay far away from Julian, because if he comes anywhere near her, she's going to get him, okay? And I think that at some point in time throughout this season, she and Julian are going to run into each other, and it's going to be really, really ugly, okay? Now, at the end of this episode, they end up introducing that Jocelyn is going to be a part of this season, and the episode cut there. So much happened in this episode. I thought it was actually a really good episode. I had to write some things down because so much happened I was going to forget. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode down in the comment section. Like this video, subscribe to my channel for more videos, and thank you to all my subscribers for the support. I appreciate you all so very much. And until next time, I will see you in my next video.